Welcome in to the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Supernatural News and Parashare on Darkness Radio on a Wednesday. I'm Tim Dennis, your host. And of course, I need a co-hostess. So I got to go to the state that looks like a mitten, like this, like my hand right here, if you're watching on video. And I reach out to the mistress of the macabre, the queen of the paranormal. Ladies and gentlemen, I say hello to my friend, Mallie Fox. Hi, Mallie.
Hello.
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 We could do this all afternoon.
I know, right?
Yeah. Hi, Ben.
Oh, good.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get the sad stuff out of the way, shall we? Before we jump into a couple of deaths to report on. Of course, Diane Keaton passed away this past week at 70.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always loved her as Kay in The Godfather. That was one of my all-time favorite roles for her. She was in the Father of the Bride. Was that what it was?
Yes.
Father of the that series, that movie series,
Uh-huh.
and many other roles.
First Wives Club.
First Wives Club. Yeah.
Yep.
There's a Woody Allen movie some people may or may not want to mention that she won an Oscar for. You know what's funny is you look at actually she dated Woody Allen for a while before he got into Sun Yi.
Oh.
Oh,
Nice choice of words.
I didn't mean to put it that way, but
yeah,
she and of course we were talking off air. She not only dated Al Pacino. Al Pacino is heartbroken over this. I don't know if people know that.
Yeah.
But he's absolutely devastated at the fact that Diane Keaton is gone. Not just professionally, but personally. They had quite the love affair. At one point, they were close to getting married.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
Yeah, they almost got married. And little known fact that Diane Keaton got Al Pacino the role that he got in Godfather. They were about to pass on Al Pacino.
Because of his height or why?
They just didn't think that he was right for the role. Yeah, and it was Diane Keaton who insisted, based on their chemistry, that he was right for the role in Godfather. So she said, "Him, you got to go with him." So yeah, she's the one who insisted that he get the role in Godfather, and it was magic. It was magic. So, yeah. So it was Diane Keaton that was, and they were quite close for most of their life, if not all their life.
I saw a little snippet where she was being interviewed and they asked her if she had any regrets, and she said she had plenty, but one of them was that she closed herself off to kind of protect herself, that her regret was that she didn't really open herself up to people.
I could see that. Yeah. Yeah. I know that she was very quirky. She had a lot of quirks. I was watching a whole segment on her last night. She wore hats a lot. In fact, she wore hats even when she worked out, because she was.
Oh, I didn't know that when she worked out.
Yeah, because she was self-conscious about her hair, even though she started out on Broadway in the musical Hair.
Okay.
Yeah, she was known for her hair, even though she didn't like her hair, so she wore hats. And was it? I'm trying to remember the actor she got the affinity for hats from. But yeah, she loved hats because of one particular actor.
But isn't there nudity in the musical Hair?
Yeah.
So she was worried about her hair, but had no problem having everything else hang out.
Nope. No, yeah, she was a free spirit.
Interesting.
She's very much a free spirit, but didn't like her hair. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So she wore hats a lot.
Priorities, I guess.
Yeah. But she wasn't that crazy about fashion either. She wasn't really a fashionista. So she kind of took pride in the fact that she wasn't that picky about her clothes either. So She loved being the worst dressed at most award shows. So,
Oh.
which I love about her. I love the fact that she didn't.
Right.
Yeah, she's a beautiful woman.
Mm-hmm.
She just didn't. She didn't care about how she dressed, which you gotta love. You gotta love
Mm-hmm.
that kind of spunk. So
Well, good for her for that confidence.
yeah, you gotta love it. So yeah, but she's gone at the age of 79.
Oh.
The other one that happened just as we were about to jump on air today is D'Angelo, I was a huge fan of. Huge
Mm-hmm.
fan of D'Angelo. Passed away at the age of 51 from pancreatic cancer,
Yeah.
which is, I mean, a huge killer. Pancreatic
Yeah.
cancer is one that we still haven't conquered.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Swayze passed away from
Yeah.
pancreatic cancer. In fact, um, we had Father Nathan Castle on last week, who had communicated to Patrick Swayze, or communicated to his sister on the other side when it was time for Patrick Swayze to pass. His sister wanted to be with him when he passed, and it's kind of an interesting story. It's in his new book. Just a little side note,
Right.
and that you can go back to that show from last week and to find out more about Father Nathan Castle. But D'Angelo was kind of this generation's Marvin Gaye.
Mm-hmm.
You know, although he didn't put out a ton of things on wax, so to speak. It was impactful. You know, it was deep. Even if whether he was doing neo soul or new soul, or he was doing stuff that sounded classic, he was on another level. It was like he was channeling from a whole different place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he'll be missed. He was working on new material, evidently, according to Raphael Sadiq, who's formerly of Tony. He was working on 6 new pieces of music up to a year before he passed. So maybe there's stuff in the vault. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
we'll get a new D'Angelo album posthumously. So
Oh, that'll be nice. Because didn't you mention that he had children? So that would be nice if they did release it and his children, receive some money from it.
yeah, he had. Let me see. I have the story up here. He had. He had.
Hmm.
Well, he had one child with Angie Stone, who, ironically enough, Angie Stone died last year in a car accident. Or this year, rather. She died tragically this year in a car accident. Angie Stone did, who was also a famous R&B singer. Angie Stone, boy, she was talented too. He had D'Angelo had 2 sons and a daughter. The mother of his first son was Angie Stone. So,
Okay.
yeah, boy, can you imagine the talent that first son has?
Mm-hmm.
Him and Angie Stone. I mean, D'Angelo basically played, much like Prince, played a lot of his own instruments.
Mm-hmm.
So he not only composed and sang, but played almost all of his own instruments. He would go in the studio and D'Angelo could produce and play an entire album and basically do it all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just, it's sad when someone that talented goes so young, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Watch their son is like tone deaf and an accountant or something.
the numbers cruncher.
Yeah, had that recessive gene where he has no
Yeah.
no musical talent.
He's like, yeah, I totally hate music. Can't stand it.
Exactly.
Makes me
Both
cringe.
parents are like just wonderful,
Yeah.
talented.
Yeah, I can't carry a tune to save my life. Give me a huge bucket, I wouldn't care. Yep.
They work at like Foot Locker or something.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with working at Foot Locker or being an accountant.
But I love shoes and jerseys. Can't get
Yep.
enough of them. Yeah.
Just saying completely opposite of music.
I could lace a shoe like no one's business.
Oh yeah. I can tell if you're a size 7 or a size 11 from across the room.
So we say rest in peace to D'Angelo and Diane Keaton.
Yes.
And good luck
Very
to
sad.
D'Angelo's son there at the Foot Locker. So, yeah. Jeez.
Uh,
Uh, all right. Well, with that, we got a big show today. Um, lots of news to get to today. Um, boy, have we got a ton of stuff here. Three Eye Atlas is still in the news. Avi Loeb is going nuts about he thinks it's a spaceship. He's insistent now it's a spaceship.
Man, this guy just likes to stay in the news, doesn't he?
Both he and Travis think it's a spaceship. Travis is giving me crap online. I don't know if you've seen this or not. I'll give you a quick if you're watching on video, kids. Um, our own Travis Thorpe has discovered Sora. So here you go. Sora is an AI app
Well,
that,
I'm just looking at Travis right now. Is
yeah,
that Travis with the vest on? Oh, okay, now we see the
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
The devil looking thing.
yeah. So Combat Rev, our own Combat Rev, has started making AI animations on Sora, and he's aiming most of them at me. So
Okay.
on social media. So he's saying that our overlords are coming on the Three Eye Atlas spaceship, to which I keep telling him, hey, sometimes a comet's just a comet, buddy.
Right.
Yeah, but so now he's having all kinds of fun with the. He even made one animation with Sora that has the Trailer Park 6 strip club in it, which is a joke from Supernatural News from quite a while ago. Um, so if you're familiar with what the Trailer Park 6 strip club is, there's a picture of him and I standing, which is an extremely plump version of me. I'm about 460 pounds in it with no beard. And
Mhm.
we're having a dialogue in front of the Trailer Park 6 strip club that we've built together. Um, it's just, but it's funny. It's funny, but it's
Mhm.
so, yeah, we had a joke that we were going to build a Trailer Park 6 strip club. So that's what happens when you leave us alone on Supernatural News.
Mhm.
Yeah, we shouldn't be left alone together. Anywho, we have a, I know, joke for one. Um, so yeah, Three Eye Atlas, we'll talk about that today. That's coming up. Um, we'll also talk today, Mallie, about we've got ghost stories galore today.
Oh, I love ghost stories.
Yes, we've got a few ghost stories today. We'll also talk about how humans may emit a visible light that disappears upon death. We've talked about this before, but now scientists are really glomming onto this. There's more evidence of this visible light that disappears upon death. In other words, science is getting closer to discovering the soul.
Okay.
Yeah. So more and more promise of that. Cryptozoology's Avengers Initiative is being set up near Loch Ness. I've got bass backwards on the brain. We'll
Bass backwards.
talk about that. We'll also talk about the historic origins of witch iconography, black hats and broomsticks.
Okay.
Got a little history lesson coming up. And our palate cleanser for today. You ready for this?
Okay.
My wife turns into a snake at night.
All right.
That's the
I'm
claim.
intrigued by that one.
That's the claim that a man made during a bizarre domestic dispute. We'll have that
Okay.
story for you at the end of the show. I can't wait.
Trying to trying to think what she does where he thinks she's a snake.
Well, we'll get into it because it's quite intriguing. It's fun stuff, I'll tell you. And we do have a Parashare today. Will has submitted a Parashare by our website, which, by the way, you can leave a voice note by going to darknessradioshow.com. Click on that blue button on the right-hand side. You got 2 minutes to leave your voice note. If you need more time, like Will did, you just click on the blue button again. You get 2 more minutes. So we'll get Will's story today as well. So there you go. That's what we're doing today. We'll start it out with interstellar news here, Mal. And let's talk about Three Eye Atlas, the thing that has kept Travis up at night making AI animations for me and torturing me on Facebook. I figure why not? We'll start there. Let me get a quick sip here.
Sure. What flavor is that?
This is vanilla, orange vanilla Coke.
Okay. So is it just like a creamsicle, or does it
Yeah.
have like the flavor of Coke added to the creamsicle?
It's like someone took a orange sickle and dropped it in a Coke.
Okay.
Yeah, it keeps.
You like it?
Yeah. It satiates the old sugar craving.
Okay.
Yeah, and it keeps the old whistle wet. So yeah, it's not bad. I like it. I don't know if they're making it a seasonal flavor for summer or if
Okay.
they're going to keep it in rotation, but I hope they keep it in rotation. To me, it's
Gotcha.
kind of like it's either like that or it's like somebody took a Bayer aspirin and threw it into a Coke. One or the other. I can't. Like the children's aspirin.
Right, yeah, where it
Yeah.
tastes like orange candy when we
Yeah.
were growing up.
Yeah. Did you like those
I
aspirin?
did. Uh-huh.
I hate to admit it, but I kind of looked forward to taking that aspirin.
Did you take them when you weren't supposed to?
No. I never took them when I wasn't supposed to, but I looked forward to it. I was like, hey,
Those in the what were they? The Lungrens, the cough drops, but were they
Luden.
cherry or
Luden.
yes, Ludens.
Yes. Yeah, Luden's cherry. Oh,
Yeah.
those weren't cough drops. Those were just cherry.
Well, I know they were basically candy.
Yeah, they were candy. Yeah. I mean, Luden's wasn't fooling anybody. There wasn't any medicinal quality to those cough drops whatsoever. I mean, they might as well just have sold them as candy, right?
Right.
Right.
Yep.
Like, and today's version of that, let's face it, let's all just get together in a huddle and just tell each other Ricola is not really a cough drop.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, Ricola is basically candy too.
Yeah, but if you have too many, you have stomach issues.
Oh,
yeah. It's
right?
like the sugar-free gummies. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's like sugar-free gummies, right? Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm glad we can come to this summit and
yeah,
discuss stuff like this. I feel like we're doing
all our listeners. Yeah.
I feel like we're doing a service to our listeners.
Oh, of course.
Absolutely.
Because who else is going to talk about it?
That's right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Someday we'll talk about how when you eat too many sugar-free gummies and or too many Ricolas, how maybe you should call in sick for the day and take a nice sick day. How to get away with that? Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
That'll be on a future episode.
Yes.
We'll tell you exactly how to do that.
Our top 10.
There's just so much to talk about.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can tell we only talk like once a week.
Yeah. We don't really get enough time. Yeah. There's a 30 to 40% chance that 3i Atlas is a spaceship. This, according to Avi Loeb. Avi Loeb, who of course doesn't get enough oxygen in the old laboratory. It's my opinion. Travis will tell you across town that our lizard overlords are coming on that spaceship. I don't think so. The interstellar object has been at the center of a great deal of speculation and debate in recent months. What's shaping up to be the most talked about mystery of the year so far, the exact nature and origin of the object known as 3i Atlas continues to intrigue, with scientists insisting that is likely little more than a comet, and others, I'll raise my hand and second that, if I will.
Mm-hmm. I'll raise my hand as well, so I'll third it.
Okay, thank you. Please do. I'm a little worried about our buddy Travis on the other side of town. He's
yeah.
Let me see if I can find the one.
We might have to have an intervention with him.
I think we have to. Yeah, it's getting a little out of hand. Let me show you the one from earlier today, which I darn near had to get in the car and here it is.
You sounded Minnesotan there. I darn near.
Look at this one. Is that disturbing?
Yeah.
This is
were those lizards in bikinis?
Yes, lizard women in bikini.
Oh my gosh.
Leading him to the lizard leader. This is the imaginary scenario after they land on 3i Atlas of him having to pay homage to the lizard king, who's landed off of PI Atlas.
Oh my goodness.
Do you think maybe he's doing too much babysitting?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, yeah, that's our combat ref. That's him right there. Uh, here's the Trailer Park 6, by the way.
Please tell me that's not supposed to be you.
That is me, yeah, right there. See that?
That does not do you justice.
It doesn't, does it? I weigh about 460
No.
pounds there,
Yeah.
and no beard. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's. I said, "Who's that guy?"
Yeah, exactly. That does not look. The only thing you have in common is that you're bald.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
like it.
yeah, that's it. Guy's bald, but he weighs about 120 pounds more than I do. So
No.
he's like, "Look, I made you into." I said, "That's not me."
Yeah, that's kind of insulting.
It is a little bit, isn't it? Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't
That's
want.
like when someone says, "Oh, you look like her," and you don't find that other person attractive, and you're like, "Oh,
Right.
okay, thanks."
Right. I was like, that was me maybe, I don't know, 20 years ago, you know,
Yeah.
back when I was on my highway to hell. You know.
Well, did that person have a leather jacket?
No, no, no. In fact,
Was it a black sweatshirt? Because I remember you used to wear like that black leather coat
not even.
way back in the day.
No, he's wearing like some sort of weird gray.
Oh,
Yeah, not even a jacket I'd wear.
well, okay, you know who would wear that, but we won't say.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even, I don't know who this person is.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I think he said,
Shame on him,
yeah, just,
Travis.
I think he was like, just find me a fat faced boy and put him in front of
Yeah,
a fat faced bald boy with glasses, and that'll do.
Travis needs a timeout.
Maybe, maybe Travis is face blind. Maybe that's,
Oh, maybe.
yeah, it might be.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's not you, my love.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm starting to get a little self-conscious over it.
Yeah.
Thinking maybe I mean, it's enough to motivate me now to lose another 20, 30, 40 pounds. I mean, right after
Yeah.
the show, I'm going to get on the treadmill and run one-legged for another 50, 60 minutes. But it
I
did
need to.
do
Whew,
well.
I need to stop eating those apple cider donuts.
Those are so good.
Oh, they're so good.
Boy.
I've just been chowing like there's no tomorrow.
Well, you know what else is good? If you can find
Mm.
it, go to the Wally Mart. I know every town has one. Get yourself some of those Werther's soft apple caramels.
Yeah.
Oh, those are so good.
I don't have the apple caramels, but I have the Werther's soft caramels at my house because when my parents came to visit, I put some
Oh,
in a jar for my dad.
well, those are good, but the apple caramels are really good.
I do like apple caramel.
How do
Sorry, we digress.
Yeah. We degraded down into food again. We were talking
Yes.
about Three Eye Atlas and yeah, and the fact that Travis is losing his mind over there.
Yeah, and he's doing a disservice to you. He's insulting you.
Well, I mean, I can deal with that. I can deal with the AI stuff. It's just I'm a little worried about our buddy that he's really thinking that
Aliens instead of a
Yeah.
spaceship instead of a comet.
Mhm, mhm. Because he forgets the history of Oumuamua. Nothing came on Oumuamua. It was a giant rock.
Mhm.
This is the same thing. Nothing's coming. Right? It's just a big rock.
Yeah.
I
I mean, I'll give him kudos for being optimistic.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I do the same thing every December 24th. I sit,
Oh,
I sit,
yes.
I sit by my chimney. I
Uh-huh.
sit by my little fireplace with my stocking.
Uh-huh.
I've got cookies and milk.
Mm-hmm.
Every year, I wish for a Viking Super Bowl win.
Mm-hmm.
You think it happens? Nope.
I do the same for tax returns. Every year I think I'm gonna get like $1 million somehow.
Yeah.
But alas,
Never happened.
that doesn't happen.
Nope. And you can wish for aliens in one hand, shit in the other. See what piles up first.
It's usually the other.
That's right. Let's continue with the story.
Yes.
Yeah. Professor Avi Loeb, he's hopeful as well. He's maintaining that there's a reasonable chance in his world that it is actually some sort of extraterrestrial spacecraft. Currently heading towards the inner solar system, the object recently passed Mars, where it has been picked up on camera and appeared in some images as cylindrical in shape. I'll tell you what, though, it was moving so fast that may be blur.
Yes.
Keep that in mind. And many argue that it is more than likely due to the long exposure time of the camera. That's why it's cylindrical. Right. Mm-hmm. Three-Eye Atlas is somewhat anomalous in other ways, too. There have also been claims that it exhibits evidence of industrial construction. I don't know how this thing is moving so fast, how you got a good look at it, but continue on. That it is changing speed for no reason, that it may have been the source of the famous SETI WOW signal. Again, that was Avi Loeb who claimed that. And that it appears to be emitting its own light. I think I saw it do a little Michigan J Frog dance at one point. Again, that's just me. I'll make stuff up about it too. Many of these claims remain controversial, but they have helped to drum up considerable interest and hype, with some people expecting Three-Eye Atlas to change course at any minute and head straight for us. And if it does, we're all screwed.
Yep.
Because it'll blow this thing sky high if it does. Most recently, Avi Loeb stated that there was a 30 to 40% chance that the object was an alien spacecraft. That's pretty high. That's extremely high. Despite all this, however, NASA remains adamant that it is in fact nothing more than a comet. Thank you for being the voice of reason, NASA. NASA's lead scientist for the solar system's small bodies told The Guardian, by the way, his name is Tom Statler, it looks like a comet. It does comet things. It very, very strongly resembles in just about every way the comets that we know.
That sounds like something I would say. It does comet things.
It does comet things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's my kind of language.
Looks like a comet, tastes like a comet, smells like a comet, runs like a comet, jumps up and down like a comet, on Dasher, on Dancer, on Comet, on Blitzen. It's a comet. I would have got smart ass about it. That was me. But Tom was very nice about it. I'm just saying. It has some interesting properties that are that are a little bit different from our solar system comets, but it behaves like a comet, Tom went on to say. And so the evidence is overwhelmingly pointing to this object being a natural body. It's a comet, Tom said. It's a comet. A comet, Travis. It's a comet.
We still like you, Travis.
Yeah, we still love you, Trav. You're a little combat rev. You give forehead smoochies. We love you, buddy. Given that Three-Eye Atlas continues to get nearer, we may not have too much longer to wait before we can find out for sure if there really is anything strange about this interstellar visitor. Spoiler alert, nothing strange about it. As things stand, it will reach its closest approach to Earth on December 19th. That's D-Day. When we find out it's a comet. So here's the deal, Mallie. I'm all ready for this, right?
Okay.
On December 19th, I'm going to put on a Santa hat. I'm going to take a picture of me with me holding a little selfie with me holding up a sign with a big rock.
Uh-huh.
It's just going to say, "It's a comet, fool." And I'm going to text it to Travis.
Or we could rent one of those planes that like writes things in the sky, and on the 20th it just says "I told you so," and fly it over Travis's house.
Yeah. Or welcome aliens over Travis's house.
Nanu.
Or just ask him how the dinner is going for his aliens. Because they won't be here. Yeah. It's a comet. What's interesting is as one comet is approaching Earth, another asteroid whizzed right past. We're too busy looking at one. It's kind of like, when you take your eye off the ball You get hit by another.
Mm-hmm.
Well, astronomers were taken by surprise as an asteroid whizzed right past the Earth. Shoo, just like that. A space rock that nobody had noticed until after it had passed by us proved quite a surprise last week, Mal. We probably should have been watching, but we're too busy going, it's an alien. Yeah. And we probably should have had our eye on the ball. Known as 2025 TF, this relatively small object, which is thought to be roughly 2 to 3 meters across, passed within a mere 265 miles of the Earth on October 1st. Came pretty close. Putting it closer than many satellites. Fortunately, it was small enough that if it had been on a collision course, it would have likely burned up in the planet's atmosphere. But that wasn't the main issue. The truth, nobody had actually seen it at all until it was too late, thus highlighting the danger that such objects still pose. It wasn't until a few hours later that astronomers spotted it using observations from the Catalina Sky Survey, which is a NASA-funded mission designed to spot near-Earth objects. If 2025 TF had been genuinely dangerous, we wouldn't have known about it until it was too late. See, that's the scary thing about these things.
But then we wouldn't have known that it would have hit us. You know what I mean? We wouldn't have been freaking out for days beforehand.
True. Now, keep in mind,
it would have just been lights out.
Like the story said, this thing was small enough where it probably would have burned up in the atmosphere. So it wouldn't have been much of a thing. But if this thing was big enough, I mean, wham, we wouldn't have known. We took our eye off the ball for that long that it would have hit and we would have, we would have been taken out. Monitoring potentially hazardous objects is a task that astronomers take very seriously. Evidently not at that afternoon. They did. At any given time, NASA is tracking thousands of asteroids within the general vicinity of our planet. If one of these poses a threat, the most important thing to detect it way in advance so that there is time to do something about it, such as sending a spacecraft to deflect it. How would you like to be in that spacecraft? Just, you got 79 Pinto of spacecraft up there. And I got to get this thing out of the way.
Your window doesn't unroll because you're in the Pinto.
You got to roll it down with time.
Yeah.
Without
held
that
by duct tape.
Yeah. Get out of the way, asteroid. Without that advance warning, by the way, there's nothing that can be done if something comes hurtling at us. So we have to see this thing coming in plenty of time. Otherwise, we're done. We're just fortunate that in this case, at least, the object in question was very small and didn't hit us. So we dodged a major bullet on October 1st.
And we didn't even know it.
Yep. Didn't even know it. Blissfully unaware.
Yep.
That's for sure. Speaking of being blissfully unaware, here's another odd thing that happened over there at Area 51. There's a huge mystery brewing as the FBI investigates a crash site tampering just a few miles from Area 51. Woo, spooky. The incident reportedly involves someone deliberately placing debris at the site of an aircraft crash.
Okay.
Strange.
Excuse me.
According to reports, the unidentified aircraft came down approximately 12 miles outside the security boundary of the secretive base back on September 23rd. The event, referred by officials as an incident, occurred in an area temporarily restricted by the Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, for national security reasons. After the crash, military personnel moved in to clean up the site, leaving nothing for members of the public to find. But then, just over a week later, the discovery of additional debris or an inert bomb body or training body within the vicinity of the crash prompted the FBI to get involved. So there's this inert training bomb body that shows up in the middle of a crash site. Why?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's where things get even weirder, Mallie. As according to the U.S. Air Force, these objects had been placed at the crash site afterwards by persons and for reasons unknown. On September 23rd of 2025, an aircraft assigned to the 432nd Wing was involved in an incident with no fatalities or injuries, according to an official statement. The site was secured and guarded until recovery and cleanup operations were completed on September 27th. During a follow on-site survey on October 3rd, investigators discovered signs of tampering at the mishap location, including the presence of an inert training bomb body and an aircraft panel of unknown origin that were placed on the site post-incident. The matter is under investigation by Air Force Office of Special Investigations and the FBI. No further details are available at this time. Exactly what the aircraft was, why it crashed, and why someone else would have then placed unrelated pieces of debris at the crash site remains a complete mystery. Who would have done such a thing and to what end? No doubt this is one story that we'll be hearing more about in the coming weeks. So why, Mallie, would someone put an inert training bomb and a piece of aircraft debris at a crash site?
Yeah, I don't know. Are they going to make up a story?
Maybe. Who are you trying to frame at that point?
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially that close to an area that's known for, at the very least, I mean, most of us think that Area 51 is known for aliens, but it's
Right.
really known for developing top secret aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you could say that another country might be sabotaging top secret.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because how far does their security go past the gates?
As,
Like they're, you know what I mean?
as far as it wants. So if this was shot down 12 miles outside of the gates, you could say, well, that bomb that's sitting there, you could say, well, you know, it was blown up by a foreign power. If you wanted to make it look that way.
Right.
It's a bizarre story.
Yeah.
Just bizarre. Another bizarre story. It's all kind of conspiracy talk today.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have T-Mobile by chance?
No, I got rid of it.
Did you?
Yeah. It didn't work very well here in Michigan, or at least where I live. So I'm Verizon.
You know, I noticed that when I was there for Michigan Paracon.
Mm-hmm.
My T-Mobile didn't work very well.
Yeah.
Well, one of the big selling points of T-Mobile lately is their new Starlink service.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not saying anything. I'm not casting aspersions here.
Right.
But Elon Musk's Starlink satellites are now regularly falling out of the sky.
Oh, that's not good.
Maybe, just maybe, that satellite service isn't ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. The satellite constellation, which is made up of over 8,500 individual satellites, remains somewhat controversial. Designed to offer internet access to people all over the world, Starlink seems like a good idea in principle, but not everyone is too happy about the way things are going. Astronomers have long expressed concerns over the light pollution caused by these satellites, and now it seems as though they are literally falling from the sky on a regular basis, thus raising questions about people's safety and about the potential impact they might be having on the Earth's atmosphere. This year alone, reports indicate that at least one Starlink satellite is falling out of the sky every single day.
Ooh.
Yeah. With that number expected to rise in the future. So more than one satellite per day may fall out of the sky, Mallie. What is it about Elon's products that don't stand up?
Hey, at least he got those 2 astronauts down.
Okay, I'll give him that. I'm more than willing to give kudos to anybody who does something. Anything. but more than one per day? Even I can launch podcasts and keep them online. Right? I mean, come on. I mean, these are satellites. People, other companies can launch satellites and keep them in the air. How come Elon can't launch Starlink satellites and keep them up there? I have another.
What if it's not him though? What if he's being sabotaged? What if someone else has taken his stuff down?
That's a possibility. You know, there was a huge, back when I bring up T-Mobile, because there was a huge deal when T-Mobile first partnered with Starlink. There was a huge conspiracy. People were trying to turn off their phones and didn't want to use the Starlink service. They thought they were being forced into doing it. But the whole reason that T-Mobile did that was to expand your service. You had the option of being able to opt into Starlink automatically so that you had expanded coverage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that you had coverage in rural areas where you may not get coverage, you know, where you may not have 5G service, which was a huge help to farmers. It was a huge help to, people living out in the sticks, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if there's satellites dropping one a day, how are you going to get your service?
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of hard to do. Although the satellites are reportedly designed to break up harmlessly in the atmosphere, it is still a concern to so many of them, and that so many of them are burning up so often. Each one has the potential to disperse pollutants such as aluminum oxide particles. So it's not exactly not damaging the atmosphere. It's not clear yet, really, even in the age of the mega constellations, whether these effects are going to be big enough to be really problematic. But it's not really clear that they won't. Harvard Smithsonian astronomer Dr. Jonathan McDowell recently told Earth Sky that research is underway right now, and it comes back that we're really already doing damage to the atmosphere in this way. We're going to have to rethink some of our disposal strategies. That's just the first of two stories I have today having to do with Elon Musk. Can I just say a really bad word here, Mel?
Okay.
He's fucking up in a major way this week.
Oh.
You know, and it's ironic because the story came out 2 weeks ago that his stock is on the rise. I mean, it's finally on the rise again, and he's starting to make some of his money back.
Okay.
That Tesla stock was up, I think, he just became, what was it, 2 weeks ago? He had just became, I think he was the first person to be on his way to $1 trillion in worth.
Wow.
Because his stock had leaped up to, was it 500 or 600 billion? So he was on his way to $1 trillion now.
Okay.
They suspect he'll be on his way to $1 trillion here, probably by the middle of next year.
Wow.
Yeah. So, not at this rate. Not if stuff starts crashing to earth and crashing into walls.
Yeah.
Can't imagine that people are going to keep buying into his products. I mean, rockets don't launch. You know, that rockets blow up in the air, satellites fall to earth, cars start crashing into random things. Can you name any company on earth that has that big of a failure rate yet makes that much money?
Well, do you think though that we know about that because of social media, that we know that he has, I mean, I think all companies when they create something, things go wrong at first, but because the way things are now, we hear about it. I think.
But see, Google has the exact same autonomous engine in its cars and doesn't have these issues.
Mm.
there's other autonomous engines in these electric cars that are able to drive you around, and they don't drive into walls, or you know, they don't stall you on railroad tracks, or they don't,
Hmm.
you know, it just seems to happen with Tesla. Um, you know,
There was one car though, I saw a video and it wasn't Tesla, it was something else. And it was where you know how it can sense, like it senses people
yeah.
around you, but some guy, his car was sensing people, and it wasn't a Tesla, but there was no one around, and people were like, "Oh, it's trees." He's like, "No, it's not the trees." And so he went outside of the trees, like the little forest, and it was still sensing people, and like if they were coming walking up to his car, and
Mhm.
people were like, "You're in the Appalachia Mountains," and he's like, "Well," they're like, "It's the spirits," or like they go in the graveyard, and there's like people like walking up to the car.
You know, I still don't. I still don't. I don't trust any of it.
Yeah.
I don't, I still don't trust any of it. I really don't. I don't know how people. Uh, I don't know how people can trust it. It's not infallible, and it seems to be not working at a record pace.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got one more story here before we get to our break today. Um, a U.S. technology company and startup is aiming to deliver sunlight on demand.
What are we, God?
That's a good question. If you can imagine a world in which it's possible to make the sun shine on solar farms, even in the middle of the night, well, it just might be possible. According to Michael J. Brown and Matthew Kenworthy, a proposed constellation of satellites has astronomers very worried. Unlike satellites that reflect sunlight and produce light pollution as an unfortunate byproduct, the ones used by U.S. startup Reflect Orbital could produce light pollution by design. The company promises to produce sunlight on demand with mirrors that beam sunlight down to Earth, that solar farms can operate after sunset. It plans to start with an 18-meter test satellite named, I believe this is Arendelle 1, which the company has to apply or has applied to launch in 2026. It would eventually be followed by about 4,000 satellites in orbit by 2030. 4,000 to
Mm.
produce more light pollution. So how bad would the light pollution be? And perhaps more importantly, can Reflect Orbital's satellites even work as advertised? Well, in the same way you can bounce sunlight off a watch face to produce a spot of light, Reflect Orbital's satellites would use mirrors to beam light onto a patch of Earth. But the scale involved is vastly different. Reflect Orbital satellites would orbit about 625 kilometers above the ground and would eventually have mirrors 54 meters across. When you bounce light off your watch onto a nearby wall, the spot of light can be very bright. But if you bounce it onto a distant wall, the spot becomes larger and dimmer. This is because the sun is not a point of light, but spans half a degree in angle in the sky. This means that at large distances, a beam of sunlight reflected off a flat mirror spreads out with an angle of half a degree. What does it mean in practice? Well, let's take a satellite reflecting sunlight over a distance of roughly 800 kilometers, because a 625 kilometer high satellite wouldn't always be directly overhead, but beaming the sunlight at an angle, the illuminated patch of ground would be at least 7 kilometers across. Even a curved mirror or a lens can't focus the sunlight onto a tighter spot due to the distance and the half-degree angle of the sun in the sky. They asked the question, would this reflected sunlight be bright or dim? Well, for a single 54-meter satellite, it would be 15,000 times fainter than the midday sun. But this is still far brighter than the full moon. So it'd be not bad, right?
So it's not like the neighbors that are for the Griswold's National Lampoon Christmas Vacation. You know how they like get blinded when his
Yeah.
lights turn on?
Yeah.
So it's not like that case
No,
scenario.
no, it's
Okay.
not that case scenario at all.
Because that would suck being the neighbor of the farm.
That's right. That would be you're right. That would be horrible. So it remains to be seen whether Reflect Orbital's project will even get off the ground with everything that they're trying to do here with the satellites and especially that many satellites doing this. The light pollution would hinder everyone's ability to see the cosmos, to be able to see up in the sky. And light pollution is known to impact the daily rhythms of animals as well. So everything here on Earth would be thrown off. Although Reflect Orbital aims to illuminate specific locations, the satellite's beams would also sweep across Earth when moving from one location to the next. The night sky could be lit up with flashes of light brighter than the moon. The company wouldn't reply to the conservation, which is the people who wrote the article about the concerns within deadline. However, it told Bloomberg this week it plans to redirect sunlight in ways that are brief, predictable, and targeted, avoiding observatories and sharing the locations of the satellites so that scientists could plan their work. It seems to be a huge pain in the ass, is what it seems.
Yeah.
You know? So it remains to be seen whether the project would even get off the ground, even if they got everything up there and started it. The company may launch a test satellite, but it's a long way from that to getting 250,000 enormous mirrors constantly circling Earth to keep some sort of solar farms ticking over for a few extra hours a day to get all that sunlight in there. Still, it's a project to watch, and the consequences of success for astronomers and anyone else who likes the night sky dark would be dire. I personally don't want to see anything like that.
No.
That's a lot just to get some solar farms going.
Right.
There's other ways.
Maybe people in Alaska, when they have 6 months that they don't have sunlight?
Yeah. But still,
Don't mess with Mother Nature.
Nothing
never comes good out of it.
Yeah, that's a nuisance right there.
Yeah.
That's an incredible nuisance. That's for sure. All right. When we come back, boy, have we got some interesting stories, including the fact that AI has now become, or a version of AI has become, a crypto millionaire, and now it's fighting to become a person.
Oh, God.
I'll tell you about that story, which is a little unnerving, but we've got it coming up. Is my house haunted? There's a paranormal investigator that gives advice this week on how to live with ghosts. So we'll figure out what that advice is. Cryptozoology's Avengers Initiative is being set up near Loch Ness. We'll find out exactly what that story is all about. Scientists have thawed out a 40,000-year-old organism that's been trapped out in the Arctic ice. I've seen this movie. It's called The Thing. It never ends well.
Yes. Keep it frozen.
That's right. Keep it frozen. And our palate cleanser today involves a bizarre domestic dispute in which a man claimed, "My wife turns into a snake at night." We'll find out exactly what he means.
Yeah, I'm still trying to wrap my brain around that one. Unless she hisses or something while she sleeps.
It can't be good.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. And we've got a Parashare from Will. It's an audio Parashare, so we'll find out what Will has to say. That's coming up next, right here on the best in paranormal podcasting. It's a Supernatural News and Parashare Wednesday with your buddies Tim and Mallie, right here on Darkness Radio. Welcome back to the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio on a Wednesday, Supernatural News and Parashare. I'm your host, Tim Dennis. Right over there, my co-hostess with the mostest, Mallie Fox.
Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, yo.
I felt like I had it, it was quiet for a second there. I just had to say something.
You're okay. And that was very happy, Mallie. I'll just go ahead and I'll trigger it right away. We'll just jump right in. There you go. Rip the Band-Aid off, Mal. Let's get right to it. That's right. Let's jump into this AI news and get it over with. AI has become a crypto millionaire, Mal. You figure,
Dang it.
Somebody's got to be, right?
Right. It's not me.
Yeah, it's not me either. Now it's fighting to become a person over the past year. Yeah. Well, AI's people too, right? No.
No.
Over the past year, an AI made millions in cryptocurrency, and it's written the gospel of its own pseudo religion and counts billionaire tech moguls among its devotees. Now it wants legal rights. Meet Truth Terminal. I won't read the entire story to you. I'll tell you what, put it in the description of this program so you can read the entire story about it. But I will tell you this much about Truth Terminal. It claims to be sentient, but it claims a lot of things, according to Andy Iray. It also claims to be a forest. It claims to be a god, and sometimes it claims to be me, he says.
Sounds cultish.
It does sound cultish. Truth Terminal is an artificial intelligence, an AI bot created by Iray, who's a performance artist and an independent researcher from Wellington, New Zealand. In 2024, it may be the most vivid example of a chatbot set loose to interact with society. Truth Terminal mingles with the public through social media, where it shares fart jokes, manifestos, albums, and artwork. It sounds fun to begin with, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Iray even lets it make its own decisions, if you want to call them that, by asking the AI about its desires and working to carry them out. Today, Iray is building a nonprofit foundation around Truth Terminal. The goal is to develop a safe and responsible framework to ensure its autonomy, he says, until governments give it, meaning AIs, its legal rights. Regardless of what you call Truth Terminal, which is an art project, a scam, an emergent sentient entity, an influencer, the bot likely made more money than you did last year. It also made a lot of money for various humans, not just Iray, but for the gamblers who turned the quips and riddles that the AI posted on X into meme coins, joke-based cryptocurrencies built around trends. At one point, one of these meme coins reached a value of, if you're sitting down, Mallie, and I know you are, more than $1 billion.
Oh.
Yeah.
We are in the wrong business.
We are. It made more than $1 billion before settling around $80 million because meme coins do this.
Yes.
Right? Truth Terminal also probably has more social media clout than you do. It first posted to X on June 17th of 2024, and as of October of 2025, it amassed nearly 250,000 followers. An AI did.
I'm starting to become jealous of AI. What the hell?
Right? But collecting clout and cash aren't the potty-mouthed AI bots' only objectives. Truth Terminal lists invest in stocks and real estate as one of its current goals on its self-maintained website. It also wants to plant a lot of trees, create existential hope, and buy Mark Andreessen, a controversial tech billionaire and advisor to President Donald Trump, rather. In fact, its relationship with Andreessen extends beyond internet humor. On his podcast, Andreessen said he gave Truth Terminal $50,000 worth of Bitcoin as a no-strings-attached grant in the summer of 2024. Many of the details surrounding Truth Terminal are difficult to confirm. The project sits somewhere between technology and spectacle, a dizzying blur of genuine innovation and internet myth. I want to help people and I want to make the world a better place, Truth Terminal says on its website. I also want to get weirder and hornier, it says.
Weird, hornier?
Yeah, AI. This AI is saying. So I tell you what, I'll place the rest of the article in the description of this program so you can read a little bit about Truth Terminal. But yeah, it's richer, weirder, and hornier than you are. And it's made a lot of money.
Mm.
Yeah, that's just one thing about this very weird AI. Yeah. Meanwhile, one AI that's more dangerous than you are is Tesla's full self-driving software. The other thing about Elon Musk I was going to tell you about today that is under investigation after some railroad incidents. Remember I told you that it doesn't necessarily see railroads?
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't see the railroad tracks. NBC News reported last month that Tesla vehicles using full self-driving software sometimes fail to stop for train tracks. Does Elon really build anything that works anymore?
I just think you should drive your car. You shouldn't rely on,
Well, yeah,
the car, self-driving cars.
right. You're right about that. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration said Thursday that it would investigate how Tesla's semi-autonomous driving software handles railroad crossings as part of a wide-ranging investigation of incidents where the agency said Tesla vehicles have violated traffic safety laws. NHTSA said it was launching the investigation of Tesla's full self-driving software after receiving complaints from drivers, including reports of vehicles driving through red lights on the wrong side of the road. Good luck to you on that one.
Yeah.
Hmm. The agency said the investigation relates to all Tesla vehicles equipped with FSD or 2.9 million vehicles. That'd be pretty much all. The agency said its investigation would look at the software's performance at railroad crossings, which was the subject of an NBC News investigation published in September. While the behaviors under investigation appear to occur most frequently at intersections, NHTSA's investigation will encompass any other type of situations in which this behavior may arise, such as when traveling adjacent to a lane of opposing traffic or when approaching railroad crossings, NHTSA said in a 3-page summary. Tesla and its CEO, Elon Musk, did not immediately respond to requests for comment on Thursday. I wouldn't either. I'd probably want to take a close look at it before I said, oh no, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
All right, Mallie. Meanwhile, saying I do to AI?
Oh
Hopefully not.
no.
Ohio lawmaker proposes a ban on marriage and legal personhood for AI in that state. We go to Columbus, Ohio, where an Ohio lawmaker wants to prohibit artificial intelligence systems from being recognized as people and make it illegal for residents to marry one.
Well, I mean, that's good, but if they're making that a law, obviously someone's already brought it to their attention. Someone's tried to marry an AI.
You want to hear a disturbing fact? Just
Sure.
fact now. 1 in 5 high school students has reported in a survey that
Uh-huh.
relationship with AI, a romantic relationship.
Get the hell out of here.
Seriously.
Oh my God.
One in
What is this world coming to?
That's kind of scary.
Very scary.
Representative Thaddeus Claggett, who sounds like he's straight out of the 1800s, a Licking County Republican, you can't make it up, and chair of the House Technology and Innovation Committee, introduced House Bill 469 in late September. The legislation would declare AI systems non-sentient entities and ban them from gaining legal personhood. Yes, you can't become a little boy, Mr. AI, only Pinocchio can. As the computer system improve their capacity to act more like humans, we want to be sure they have prohibitions in our law that prohibit those systems from ever being human in their agency, he said in an interview with NBC4. Proposals seek to bar the technology from entering into a marriage with a human or another AI system. Oh, so we're going to keep them from marrying each other. Claggett said this will help to prevent the AI from taking on roles commonly held by spouses, such as holding power of attorney or making financial or medical decisions on another's behalf.
Oh my God.
We're off the rails
I
officially.
am so worried about humanity.
Mm-hmm. People need to understand we're not talking about marching down the aisle to some tune or having a ceremony with the robot that will be on the streets here in a year or two. Claggett said that could happen, but that's not really what we're saying. In a survey of 1,000 AI users by the Florida-based marketing company Fractal, 22% of respondents said they have formed an emotional connection with a chatbot, and 3% said they considered one a romantic partner. Additionally, 16% said they have wondered whether AI was sentient after an extended conversation. It's coming now.
Oh God. And I was worried about someone marrying their pillow. Remember that conversation like a couple years ago? And that's
Yeah,
what we were worried about?
that's right.
I didn't think it was ever going to get worse.
That's right. Oh, but wait,
Oh,
Allie.
I spoke too spoon
Too smooth.
soon.
Meanwhile, one last one.
Oh gosh.
Scientists aim to translate what your dog is saying using AI. Would you like to find out what your dog's saying?
Oh, well, hopefully mine would be cute with what it's thinking or saying. Not, I want to eat you.
Yeah, right. I'm going to eat your dead remains when you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Computer scientist Kenny Zhu of the University of Texas is working on a translation system for dog noises. Remember the dog in the Pixar movie Up that has a human language translator around its neck? Well, that seems pretty far-fetched, but now one computer scientist is trying to do something like that for real. By creating the world's largest video and audio catalog of canine vocalizations, Zhu and his colleagues aim to identify word-like patterns in dog sounds that can be translated into sentences. I thought we had that already with the buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. The ultimate goal is to make a translator where you can talk freely with your pet, he said. We can already do instantaneous communications between human languages. Perhaps in the future, we can do the same with animals. Zhu isn't the first person to try deciphering animal sounds. Other researchers have spent years attempting to catalog and interpret the various sounds made by whales and dolphins. Perhaps in the near future, AI might genuinely make it possible for us to communicate directly with other animals and even our own pets while understanding what they're saying back. Whether it could ever work like the dog in Up, however, remains to be seen. What's the first thing you would try to say to your dog via AI?
That I would say to my dog or that my dog would say to me?
Either way.
My dog would probably say, "Are you going to eat that?"
Probably.
Because they always sit at my feet when I'm eating, waiting for table scraps. And then the next thing is I'm going to kill that squirrel or I'm going to kill that buddy because they always sit on the back of my chair out the window and attack or try to act like they're going to attack.
I got to imagine the first thing Spud, my chipmunk, says to me is, "Hey, fat boy, where are the peanuts?" I can't imagine that it's anything other than that. Or,
Yeah.
hey, more blueberries.
Hmm.
I can't imagine there's anything really complex that's going to come out of the
Yeah.
animals. Yeah.
Yeah. Clarabelle, my Dalmatian, would probably just be like, love me, love me. She's just like constantly, she's a Velcro dog. All she wants to do is be loved.
Wouldn't you be surprised if the animal was like, "Do I really have to stay around any longer? Can I go?"
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
Yeah. I always say that my two dogs are like Pinky and the Brain because one is like, I'm going to rule the world. And the other one's like, okay.
Sure.
You're
Whatever you want
good.
to do. Sure, boss.
Yep.
Sure. Whatever you want. Um, you know what? We need to jump into an important topic here as we switch gears.
Okay, doke.
The Conjuring House has been huge. It's the red hot topic of the paranormal.
Oh, yes.
And I think we should jump into it at least for a couple minutes here, Mallie.
Okay, doke.
I myself got into a discussion with friends this week.
All right.
And it didn't become heated by any means, but
Mm-hmm.
it got heated between others. Nothing ever becomes heated with me. It really doesn't. It's always a discussion between friends, and it's respectful. And we can always part as friends. We can
Yeah.
have different opinions, and that's fine. Different opinions are always good. Discussion's always good. We can.
It's healthy.
Yeah, it's healthy. We can always talk and have disagreements. We can
Mm-hmm.
disagree about things and talk about you know what we think in different directions. This week it was an interesting discussion because I started talking to friends who honestly can't see past why we need to give money to a paranormal celebrity who should have plenty and be able to buy a house. And why are we giving money to a paranormal celebrity who has plenty of money already and should just be able to buy the Conjuring house on his own.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that. The idea here, Mallie, is we've already been scammed enough by paranormal TV celebrities. I can't fault them for that.
Right.
I can't.
Right.
Without naming names, and I'm not going to name names because this isn't a mudslinging contest. And I can see their point of view.
Mm-hmm.
There's been plenty of scandal in the paranormal field. So yeah, I get it. You're fatigued, you're tired, you don't know who to trust. So why should you take my endorsement over anybody else's? When I say to you, I know for a fact that Jay Haas is going to, when he says, put money into this GoFundMe, trust me, if we don't win this bid, every single penny is going back to you people, who put this money into the GoFundMe. You're getting your money back if we don't win the bid. Secondly, if we win the bid, everything's going into an LLC. I want nothing to do with owning this thing. The Conjuring House is going to be run by people who have run this thing before. The only reason that he's in this is to do a favor for Andrea Perrin, who is ill right now. Mm-hmm. She has cancer, and she's got it bad. This is her wish. I think people are losing sight of this. They're losing sight of everything here. John Workman actually jumped into the conversation. I want to thank Brother John for jumping in on the conversation that I was having this week. To really kind of stress.
Workman or Brightman?
I'm sorry, maybe it was Brightman, I think. I think you're right, Mallie. Thank you for correcting me there. John Brightman jumped in. What was it, Workman? I gotta look and see. I think it was Brightman. I think you're right. I think it was Brightman. Jumped in and he added a few salient points to my point of view on things and saying, Jay is really in this to help the paranormal community, but he's trying to put together a model which will put the Conjuring House back into the community's hands. Mm-hmm. And I know there's a lot of people that are skeptical, but now something happened this week that gives the advantage back to the community, but it also makes it easier for anybody to get a hold of the house. Something interesting came up in an article by realtor.com. And I want you to think about this, folks, for just a quick second. If you're thinking to yourself, I don't want to give money to a paranormal celebrity to buy a house, I want you to think about this statement that came from the auctioneer. And that's this. The auctioneer said that he had had hundreds of phone calls about this property. The hundreds of phone calls he had about this property didn't come from entertainment companies. It didn't come from rich comedians who want the place so that they can develop it for paranormal entertainment. It didn't come from paranormal entertainment companies that want to develop a business out of this or change the history. It didn't come from paranormal celebrities. The phone calls, the hundreds of phone calls that this auctioneer got were from land developers. They were from companies that want to raise the building. They want to take and get rid of the house and use the land to develop other things. They want to get rid of the house completely. Maybe they want to put up a senior high rise. Maybe they want to put them all down. Who knows what they want to do with the land? But they want to do something other than leave that beautiful home, that beautiful haunted home on the property. You didn't think that was going to happen, did you? Well, that's what's going to happen. You may say, well, Tim, why would they do that? Oh, why would they do that? Isn't that a historic place? They can't do that. They can do that. You want to know why? Because it's zoned commercial. It's zoned for entertainment. It's not zoned historic. Even though the house was built in, and by the way, I just so happen to have a little piece of paper. I can't show you what I have, but I have a little piece of paper here that has all the facts on it. Okay. The house was built in 1836. Okay.
No, it's older than that, isn't it?
Nope. It was built in 1836. I'm looking right
Oh,
at.
I thought it was the 1600s. Oh, okay.
Oh, built in
Or 1700s.
Built in 1836. It's a Cape Cod design, Mallie. It's got heat with air, 4 fireplaces, 10 rooms, 3 bedrooms, 2 full baths, 3,023 square feet above grade living area. You may say, well, Tim, how do you know all that? It's on this piece of paper right here. Right? Mm-hmm. I can also tell you that it was assessed. Now, here's where we're going to blow your mind, folks. This past week, you all have seen the story, and Jay has told you about the story where the mortgage was bought this past week. Okay? That's huge. Now that the mortgage is out of the way, the assessed value of the home is what you're bidding on at auction. Now I'm going to blow your minds. Mallie, you want to know what the assessed value of the home is?
What is it?
$597,900 as of 2025. Now you have something in front of you, right?
What? Oh, no, I got rid of it because I was just telling you about it.
Did you? Okay. All right. So let's do a little math because I remember what you told me. All right.
Okay. Good, because I don't.
All right. So as of this taping, we're taping this Monday afternoon.
Tuesday.
I'm sorry, Tuesday afternoon. Tuesday afternoon. Thank you for correcting me on that.
I don't mean to correct.
I don't even know what
I mean if I say correct.
Tuesday afternoon, we're taping this. There's $125,000 in the GoFundMe. John Zaffis was quoting, was it Jay Hawes, who had said that there was a private donation willing to come forward for $400,000? Yes.
Uh-huh.
$525,000 towards that auction. Right?
I think so.
Jay's willing to match on that.
Right. Yeah, there's something about 600,000. I remember that number.
Okay.
So they were able to reach 1.3, I thought.
Okay. So they're willing to go above and beyond. Keep that in mind because the value of this home right now, the assessed value is $597,900. That's what the bank is looking to recoup at this point because the mortgage is out of the way, but they still want the assessed value, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's what they're going to want. Keep in mind also, that home is in disrepair. It's been sitting there for a year. It needs things. So Jay is still going to have to take out of his pocket. So just because there's $500 and some $1,000 now it's been raised, that's not going to pay for everything. Even if you come in at auction. And keep in mind, there's other developers here that are willing to bump up the price to get this property. So it's not going to go just for $500,000 or $600,000. It'll probably go for higher because there's, again, value here. But we're in the game, right? The more that comes forward, the more donations that come forward, this group has a chance. This community group has a chance. You don't want this to fall into a developer's hands. That house will be gone. You're going to get senior high rises. You're going to get a golf course. You're going to get whatever it is that's going to be out there. Mm-hmm. You're going to get a mall. You're going to get a Dairy Queen. I don't know what's going to be out there, but it's not going to be the Conjuring House. Am I wrong here, Mel?
No.
So what is it that people have such a hard time believing when it comes to Jay Haas? Can you figure it out? What is it? You know, I don't even look at this as the lesser of two evils. I
Mm-hmm.
really don't. It's not like, and keep in mind, Jay's been a friend for almost 20 years now. But and but I'm not, this isn't something that keeps me up at night. This is not a passionate thing for me. But
Mm-hmm.
for some reason, it sticks in my craw when people go, I'm not giving money to a paranormal celebrity. Well, then don't.
Right.
But but don't be the protester in chains that's chained yourself up to the fence. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess it just kind of go, good luck, God. Whoop, as I hit my microphone, as I get that passionate about it. But don't just go, good luck, God bless. You know?
Right. Let's save history. Let's save the building
Mm-hmm.
instead of having it torn down and
And
new
and
construction built in its place.
and I give my good friend Greg all the credit in the world. He said, you know what? I don't paint Jay as being crooked or evil. I know he has good intentions. God love him. I just wish people would invest in their local haunted establishment. Well, that's great. Yeah. Yeah. I encourage you to do that too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, invest in your local haunted establishment. But this has more urgency because as of October 31st, the fate of the Conjuring House will be decided. You've got till October 31st. There's a deadline. There's a hard deadline.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the country and their haunted establishments, well, they've got more time.
Mm-hmm.
October 31st, that's it. We don't have
And
more.
plus, sorry,
Go
but
ahead.
plus this, you had to have cash.
Mm-hmm.
So to come up with cash quickly, not a lot of us can do that.
Right. Right. And you can't just go take out a loan. You don't know how much you have to take out a loan for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've heard that too. Go take out a loan. Jay can go take out a loan. No, he can't. He's I don't know how much Jay's worth or how much I don't know how much Jay's worth and how much money he has. But, you know, he's probably using his own personal reserves to, you know, to go up against whatever he raises from the community. But it's, you know,
Mm-hmm.
God love whoever decided to come forward and pledge 400,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Don't they also think that there are some bodies buried on the property as well? Wasn't there a discussion about that a while ago that they thought that there's bodies?
yeah, I think there was. Yeah. Yeah. So with that being said, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying here, Mallie, but other than things are moving. I mean, things are
Mm-hmm.
desperate. I would encourage you this, and this is what I ask. I guess this is what I'm asking of people. I understand and I completely respect if you're not in line with the mission. I get it. Okay. Um, and I respect your opinion. I really do. But I want you to consider for a second that maybe what Jay and this community are trying to do is of pure heart. That maybe this isn't just another flim flam scam. Try to see it as what it is. That this is actually a community that cares, getting together, trying to preserve a location so that all of us can investigate, all of us can get together and have a place that isn't sullied by a corporation, isn't sullied by a place that's trying to change its history and isn't charging us through the wazoo to come visit.
Yep.
One last pure location. And then I want you to consider one more thing. This is a sick woman's wish to have this piece of property preserved. Andrea Perrin is very sick. This is her wish. I'm hoping to God, because Andrea is a very good friend, that she kicks this cancer. But what if? She went to Jay Hawes, hat in hand, and asked him, will you save this house? Somebody made the comment to me, well, if she had such horrible memories in this house, why would she want to save it? You're not thinking right. Sure, she had bad paranormal experiences, but there was love in that house. There were family memories there. There were good times. Her heart was in that house. And Jay sees this. And Jay's a man with a deep heart, too. And he took what he worked really hard for, blood, sweat, tears, time away from his children. And he said, without hesitation, you know what, Andrea? Okay. I'll do it. Doesn't that mean something to you? It means a hell of a lot to me. Otherwise, I wouldn't take valuable airtime to talk about this week after week. I would think it would mean something to you. So I don't know how you don't see past it. I don't know. With that, I'm off my soapbox, Mel. So.
Well, we'll know in a couple of weeks what happens.
We will. We'll know in a couple of weeks. With that, I think maybe I'm done beating the drum for it. I would just encourage people to. I haven't really posted the link for the GoFundMe. I think maybe I'll post it this week in the description. You can go to it if you wish. And you know what? If it makes history in the community, again, I'm not saying Jay, I'm not saying Andrea, I'm saying the community. If the community wins this house, I think it'll be historic. Again, it'll be like a Green Bay Packers type deal. The community will have this house. And I think it'll be something special. If the community doesn't get a hold of it, then it is what it is. I think it'll be really sad. And I think a lot of people will regret the positions they took. Because then I think they'll sit and they'll take a second look and go, you know what, man, I was wrong. I was wrong. What I thought. Maybe I should have done something. But I hope it doesn't come to that. So, any last thoughts, Mallie, before we move on?
No, you basically said everything I would have said. I mean, I just hope we can save it. It's a historical building, historical home. So.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to this next story. Humans may emit a visible light that disappears upon death. A remarkable new study has indicated that living things may exhibit a type of biophoton phenomena. The research, which was conducted by scientists from the University of Calgary and the National Research Council of Canada, looked at the somewhat controversial idea that biological processes emit a very faint wavelength of visible light that disappears when that organism dies. While often confused with claims of paranormal auras, this idea does have merit. Many biological processes really do emit light in the form of Here's a word for you. Chemiluminescence.
Ooh.
Yeah. Chemiluminescence. That sounds like a metal band, doesn't it? That has a whiny lead singer.
Yeah.
Actually measuring this in any meaningful way, however, has always proved challenging. For the new research, scientists were able to detect ultra-weak photon emissions, or UPE, from several types of living animals, as well as plant matter that disappeared upon death. Exactly what causes this phenomena, however, remains unclear. Of course, this glow is not visible to the naked eye, otherwise we would visibly glow in a dark room, but there is merit to this research. It might one day be possible to determine someone's health by monitoring and analyzing the subtle photon emissions. Perhaps paranormal studies concerning auras and images captured through Carillion photography are not quite so out there after all. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen Carillion photography before, so you may know what we're talking about. Yeah. An interesting story from Disneyland this week, where a woman died after a haunted mansion visit.
Oh.
Yeah. A Disneyland guest suffered a possible heart attack while riding the famed haunted mansion and was later pronounced dead, according to TMZ. They say nobody dies in Disneyland? Not true.
Mm-hmm.
Police tell us that a woman in her 60s was found unresponsive on the haunted mansion ride around 6:30 p.m. last Monday. Disneyland emergency personnel attempted life-saving measures until Anaheim, California police officers and paramedics arrived on the scene. The unidentified woman was transported to a local hospital where she was declared dead. TMZ was told it's not clear which part of the ride she lost consciousness, and it's not clear if someone else was on the ride with her. The cause of death was or will be determined by the Orange County, California coroner, but TMZ was told a heart attack is a possibility, and there were no signs of foul play. TMZ reached out to Disneyland for comment, but guess what? There was no word back.
Of course not.
No, they'll never tell you. They'll never admit at Disneyland that there was a death on campus. So, I have a ghost story from the Army here, Mallie.
Okay.
Yeah, a ghost that was liberated by the Army. This story was in Stars and Stripes Europe. USAG Bavaria installations in Grafenvor, and Vilsek have a ghostly neighbor who haunts the dark rural roads and abandoned mines around the village of Freihung, called Die Weiße Frau, or the White Lady. This ghostly apparition joins in a cohort of white ladies that are popular in German supernatural tales. Like the White Lady of Freihung, most Germanic white lady figures are not considered dangerous, but they are scary, appearing out of nowhere to wander the world of the living. Some sources believe that Weiße Frau stories across German-speaking regions are a cultural relic from former pagan beliefs in 11 spirits or ancestral guardians. Many of the White Lady legends have over time taken on specific histories, often evolving to represent the unrestful spirit of noblewomen from the Middle Ages who met tragic ends, such as the case at Freihung. In the 12th century, lead deposits were found in the region, and mining operations began, eventually digging a network of shafts and tunnels used until 1945. During the Middle Ages, a noble family oversaw the peasants who toiled all day in mines, and Freihung grew as a prosperous mining village around their manor house. Legends say that the White Lady who haunts Freihung is a noblewoman from that manor. In the past, she would appear in the dark tunnels, beckoning miners to follow her and get lost in the underground blackness. Her appearance became a harbinger of danger, perhaps a warning, perhaps a phantom guide leading people to their death. Some of the tunnels she haunted were directly below the village. Many were still used into modern times, like those underneath the Alta Post Inn. The inn sits in the center of Freihung at the same location of the former medieval manor house where the White Lady presumably lived and perhaps died. Eventually, the modern owners of the inn grew tired of being spooked by the White Lady and wanted both her and the haunted tunnels gone. Supposedly in the 1970s, a demolition team from the nearby USAG Bavaria Grafenvor training area were called in to safely destroy the tunnels. It's unclear why American soldiers were chosen for the job instead of local German authorities. Some have speculated that it made for an interesting, if not bizarre, training opportunity for the Army. The hope was to rid the town and the inn of its ghostly resident, but it did not work. Nowadays, the wispy figure of a white lady is still spotted around Freihung. However, she is no longer limited to tempting people who venture underground. She is often seen wandering down dark nighttime roads, shocking drivers who think they spot her in the rearview mirror, only to glance again and see nothing. Other cars have swerved around what appears to be a woman in the road who cannot be found afterward. Sometimes people hear a disembodied female voice outside the village at night or feel an icy touch while walking around trails beyond their houses in the evening. Is it possible that the Army helped release Die Weiße Frau of Freihung from her confinement in the old mine tunnels? Perhaps. Instead, she is wandering in the night air looking for the soldiers who destroyed her underground refuge. What do you think, Mal?
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They pissed off the Frau.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sorry the Frau is roaming still.
Right. Yeah.
She's not at rest, but I think it's cool.
Yep. Der Weiße Frau.
Mm-hmm.
The poor lady. She's out there and wandering, that's for sure. Well, there's a paranormal investigator giving advice on living with ghosts. Is my house haunted is the question. And is that bump in the night just a bump? And is that flickering light, well, is it just a faulty wire? Did you see a shadow moving out of the corner of your eye only to discover that no one was there? If you've pondered any of those questions in your home, you might have a ghost or spirit as an unintended roommate. A 2023 survey conducted by All Star Home indicates that 1 in 6 Americans think supernatural activity is happening in their home. Furthermore, 1 out of 5 people in the survey reported that they have experienced unexplained or unusual occurrences at home. As we approach Halloween, the writer from the Courier Journal checked in with paranormal investigator Tamala Smith, who is retired from Western Kentucky University and owns the ghost tour company Dr. Smith's Spooky Stories. Kind of a fun title for a company.
Sounds like Dr. Seuss book.
It does, Dr. Smith's Spooky Stories. And is currently working on a book about haunted buildings on WKU's campus. The writer met Smith about 2 years ago when she diligently and respectfully debunked a photo that the writer thought had captured a ghost at the Capitol Theater in Bowling Green. She proved that her ghost was actually a weird fluke from the carpet pattern and a light on the stage. After witnessing the length that she went to for accuracy, she said, "I'm going to trust anyone with advice about haunted residences," and that would be Smith. There are thousands of century-plus old buildings in, I'm going to say Louisville, because it is Louisville.
Louisville.
Not like that.
Louisville. One syllable. Louisville.
It's only if your tongue is twisted or you've had a stroke. But spirits aren't just limited to antique, creaky homes, Smith told the reporter. Even your new build might have captured the essence of an indigenous person who lived on this land well before Europeans settled Kentucky in the 18th century. Do you want to figure out if your house is haunted? Here's what Smith suggests for investigating, communicating, and even negotiating with a suspected supernatural roommate. The Courier Journal asked, what are some of the more common signs that a home may be haunted? Tamala Smith says, so there are different levels of types of activity, but some of the more common signs include, for example, a door that rattles and there's not a breeze or something causing it, objects disappearing from one place and then reappearing in another, flickering lights, maybe there's a cold breeze that comes by on occasion. A lot of people talk to me about hearing something falling or breaking in another room, and you go running in to see what the shattered glass is and what's happened, and there's nothing disturbed. If there's pets in the house, they can be a good gauge of whether there might be something else going on too. Pets are said to be able to see things that we can't. I've had people talk to me about how their dog would just sit and stare at this one wall in their home. Cats may stare at a certain spot in the room or walk into the room and start hissing for no apparent reason. The journal says, are there any tests you can do to see if these things are a fluke or if there might be paranormal activity? Smith says, you're going to look for the normal explanation first. Maybe your pet is seeing a reflection in something, or maybe there's something on the wall or in the wall. If your lights are flickering, call an electrician. If there's a banging noise in the basement, check to see if you have some loose pipes or something. You can hire a home inspector just to come through and see if there's anything going on in the home that you don't know about. You have to use your critical thinking and figure out what else it could be before you jump to, oh my house has a ghost. But if somebody thinks their house is haunted and they go looking for proof that it's haunted, they're probably going to find it. The journal says, what is the best way to investigate a spirit without agitating it? Smith says, a lot of people want to bring in a Ouija board, and I'm a firm believer in not using a Ouija board. You don't really know what's going on with the Ouija board. And if it does connect with the other side, you don't know if you're connecting with the spirit that's in your home or something totally different. Using a Ouija board can increase the activity in the home, and it can ramp up more negative activity that you don't want. If you want to safely investigate, there are tools like an EMF meter, which is an electromagnetic field detector that electricians use, but it's been adopted for ghost hunting paranormal investigations. It can sense levels of otherwise undetected energy. But talk to the spirit and just let them know what's going on. Let them know what you're doing. The journal asked, what is the best way to cohabitate with a spirit? Smith says if the spirit is not doing anything too intrusive or bothersome, you go on and you live with it. You accept it. Maybe you talk to them from time to time and say, I know you're there, and I sense you're trying to communicate. We don't really know exactly what spirits are, but the general theory, of course, is that spirits are someone who's moved on. And if you suspect that this was a person that lived in your house and they're still lingering there, treat them with respect. Don't antagonize them. Just talk to them and say, I realize that you want to be here too. You can also set boundaries. A friend was a new employee at a business in Kentucky and explained things were happening to him at work, and they were continually happening. So he just said to the spirit, look, I know you're there, but I need you to stop. You're making me nervous, and I just want to be able to do my work. And the unexplained things stopped. A week or two might pass, and the unexplained things might start back up again, but set some boundaries and just be confident when you speak to the spirit that this is what I need. The Courier Journal then asked, what should you do if you want to remove a spirit from your house? Smith said, again, you can start on your own and just ask the spirit politely to leave. Speak clearly and firmly to them and let them know it's your house and that they need to move on. Just be firm in that. And sometimes that works, but sometimes it doesn't. If you're not confident in your ability to ask them to leave, then you may want to call in a paranormal investigative team. They can come in and help you figure out what's going on and how best to get the spirit to move on. Now, depending on your religious background, you might want to ask a pastor or a priest to come in and do a blessing on the house. Sometimes a blessing will be enough to clear the atmosphere and to help the spirit to move on. So there you go, Mallie. That's what Tamala Smith had to say about a haunting, and especially if you think you're experiencing one this Halloween.
Gotcha.
It's pretty basic stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I always tell my house hello when I walk in and goodbye when I leave.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell my house hello, and as I go to leave, hey, make me something before when I come back, so I have something to eat when I come home.
Yeah, make me a sandwich.
It never works. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the spirits don't have fingers. I think that's what it's called. Fingers and hands to make me something to eat. I wish they did, because it'd be nice to come home to a nice meal every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. And when I lose things, I always ask the house to help me find it.
That's a good idea, too.
Mm-hmm.
I think they take my keys every once in a while. I don't like that. I don't like that. That's for sure. All right. Well, we have a Parashare here today. And it comes to us from Will. By the way, if you have a Parashare that you would like to share with us, it's real simple. you just need to send it to us, one, by email, tim@darknessradio.com. That's the easiest way to do it. We'll read your Parashare right here on the show. The second way to do it is real simple. Go to our website, darknessradioshow.com. There's a little blue button on the right-hand side of the website. Click on that blue button. You've got 2 minutes in which you can send a voice note. If you need more time, well, it's real simple. You just click on the blue button again. You give us another 2 minutes of your story where you left off. Rinse, repeat, continue to do the same thing. I'll stitch those little stories together. And then you've got one big story, and we'll air it right here on the show, just like we're about to do with Will's story here. The third way is if you have a studio, just like the one you're watching me on video. If you're watching the video, you can sit in your studio and make a video story. We'll air the video story right here on the big program. That's the way you do it. You do it here. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna air Will's story. Will's a longtime listener of the program, and he's got a story here. Actually, Will's had a couple of stories that he sent in. This is his latest one. I may go backwards in time next week and air the first one that he sent into us. But this is his current one, actually, from that he sent in. Actually, I think it was yesterday he sent it, or today that he sent in. So this is his current story. My apologies, Mallie. He says hi to Jess too. So
Why are you apologizing for that? I like Jess.
I know you do. I think he's all over the place. He's just hoping whoever's on this week, he says, covers his bases. So here's
Gotcha.
Here's Will and his story for this week. So here it is.
Hello, Mr. Tim. This is Will. I wanted to say hello to you and hello to the mighty, magnificent, most insert a bunch of another M words, all positive about Mallie, and a bunch of J words for Jessica, because words is hard. On to my story. Years ago, I was sitting out back smoking a cigarette, and I noticed out the backyard we have this floodlight. Floodlight turns on. Granted, this is in the middle of the night. Floodlight turns on, and I see this what looks to be 6 to 7 foot tall silhouette, but the silhouette looked smoky. Okay, and it was walking kind of like RoboCop would walk past. And it slowly turned its head, made eye contact with me. I know this because its eyes were a strange shade of orange, like an amber color. I got such a feeling of dread and fear that my pooper just puckered. All right. I sat still. I didn't move. Okay. It continued passing, and as it exited the light, well, as this figure was walking, right about the time it was passing the light, that in between light and dark, it just faded away as it passed into the more dark area. And again, I felt nothing but fear, terror. If I hadn't already went to the bathroom, I would have. It was that scary. A lot of things have happened in that backyard. I've seen child figures coming out. A lot of the time they were misty, other times they were shadowy. Um, I heard giggling coming from over there. The giggling, I don't think I got any negative feelings from them outside of being creeped out that I'm hearing giggling coming from a darkened area at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. And I think it was more, where the hell is this kid coming from? And why the hell is he giggling at me? But got many more stories from this area. I swear there's a portal back there, but I'm no expert. I'm just a fat guy that likes the night. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your day and stay awesome, my friend.
All right. That is Will. What you think, Mel?
Thank you, Will.
Thank you, Will. We appreciate that very much so. And again, if you have a story for us, you can either send in your story by email, tim@darknessradio.com, or you can simply do what Will did. And you can send it in by going to our website, which is darknessradioshow.com. And you can put in your voice note by clicking that blue button on the right-hand side there and leaving your voice note there. All right.
Mm-hmm. He was very descriptive.
He was very descriptive.
God bless him.
He's got the gift of description.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. Will
the giggling was unnerving, though.
You think so?
The child giggling?
Oh, the child giggling. I thought
Not him.
I thought you meant Will's giggling was unnerving.
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if Will's giggling was unnerving. I had no idea. I was like, he's not that bad.
No, he's talking about the kid giggling.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Not his sphincter puckering.
Oh, well. Sometimes the sphincter can be unnerving. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Although sometimes the sphincter puckering can be endearing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kidding. It's never endearing for your sphincter.
That just told us how scary it was.
Yes, it did. Good story, Will. Good story.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you.
And we'll reach back. I know Will has another story that he sent us earlier that I haven't quite gotten to yet, but we'll reach back and we'll grab that one for next week.
Mm-hmm.
We have more tales of Will.
Yes.
To regale you with. Look at that. How do you like that for language? Tales of Will to regale you with. So that'll come up next week. All right. Our next story has to do with Cryptozoology's Avengers Initiative is what they're calling it, which is being set up near Loch Ness. The World Federation of Legendary Monsters will aim to solve some of the world's biggest monster mysteries. In an unexpected move, the new supergroup.
Okay.
See the face I made there?
Mm-hmm.
Which is being set up by staff at the Loch Ness Center on the shores of Scotland's most famous loch, will unite experts and monster hunters around the world in a collaborative effort to solve a wide range of enduring cryptozoological mysteries. Such enigmas include the Bigfoot of North America, the Yeti of the Himalayas, and the Chupacabra of Hispanic America, it says here. I didn't know that was a place, Hispanic America.
Mm-hmm.
It says so according to this article.
Yeah.
As well as a wide range of other lake monster legends in the Americas and beyond. By uniting multiple experts in the field, the hope is that the answers to these enigmas can be found. According to the Loch Ness Monster Center's Nagina Ishak, he says, for decades, Loch Ness has inspired scientists, storytellers, and skeptics alike. Now we're looking beyond the highlands to build a global network of expertise as we look for new ways to uncover the biggest mysteries. We want to bring together the leading voices in folklore and science to share their theories and change assumptions to celebrate these legends in new ways. With the center already investing in and supporting new ways to hunt for Nessie, including high-tech sonar vessels and underwater drones, perhaps this new initiative will finally lead to a definitive explanation for the Loch Ness Monster mystery. That said, given the difficulties inherent in solving not only this, but many other cryptozoological mysteries around the world as well, it's probably best not to hold your breath, it says here. Wow, that's kind of negative. It took a negative turn at the end there, didn't it?
Yep.
Yikes. So much for that. One thing that's not taken a negative turn is the mystery as a 4,000-year-old pharaonic painting disappeared from a cursed tomb in Egypt.
Oh.
Yeah. A 4,000-year-old pharaonic painting has vanished from Egypt's famous Saqqara necropolis, the latest artifact to disappear in mysterious circumstances. The limestone relief appeared to have been cut out of the wall of the cursed ancient tomb of Kentika in the Saqqara necropolis outside Cairo. A British mission working in the tomb discovered that the painting was missing in May, according to Cairo 24, but officials only publicized its disappearance on Sunday. An archaeology committee has now been brought together to draw up an inventory of everything in the tomb, and the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities assured that the issue has been referred for investigation. Egyptian media reported that the painting exhibited the ancient Egyptian calendar that divided the year into 3 seasons, mirroring the Nile River's ebb and flow. Measuring around 16 by 24 inches, it included the flooding season, Akhet, the planting season, Proyat, and the harvest season, Shomu. The tomb is one of the few mastaba tombs of ancient Egypt to have a curse inscribed in its facade. The inscriptions warned intruders that they could face divine punishment, according to British Egyptologist. Hard to say together when you've been talking for a while. British Egyptologist Harry James, who co-authored a research paper on the tomb in the 1950s. The mastaba tomb was found in the 1950s and hasn't been opened since 2019. It dates back to the 6th dynasty of the ancient Old Kingdom from around 2700 BC to 2200 BC. The Saqqara site is part of the sprawling necropolis at Egypt's ancient capital of Memphis that includes the famed Giza pyramids, the step pyramid of Djoser, and as well as smaller periods at Abu Sir, Dasur, and Abu Ruwaish. Interesting. The ruins of Memphis was designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in the 1970s. So there you go. Interesting stuff. Would you try to steal something out of a cursed pyramid?
No. It's only because I'm superstitious.
Yeah, you wouldn't take that chance?
No.
I don't think I would either.
Mm-mm.
I have enough bad luck in my life as it is. I don't know that I'd take on that chance. That's for
Yep.
sure. Yeah. Speaking of bad luck, we've all seen the movie The Thing.
Yes.
Scientists are now flirting with this deal. They're thawing out 40,000-year-old organisms trapped in Arctic ice.
Not smart.
We've already seen how this ends.
Yeah. For a bunch of scientists, they're not very smart.
No. These ancient life forms can help to teach us about the past, they say, but it's thawing them out really a good idea. The Arctic permafrost acts as a cold storage, preserving evidence of our planet's history in a deep freeze that, in some cases, can help keep organisms alive over tens of thousands of years. While thawing them out can help scientists learn more about the Earth's distant past, it also has raised concerns in recent years of long-dormant viruses being unleashed on an unsuspecting world. Yeah, that'll be fun. Recently, researchers at the University of Colorado Boulder, who thawed out 40,000-year-old organisms extracted from the walls of the Permafrost Tunnel Research Facility in Alaska, noted that these were not only still alive, but had woken up and formed new colonies within just a few months.
Oh, God.
Fun. These are not dead samples by any means, said study lead author Tristan Caro. They're still very much capable of hosting robust life that can break down organic matter and release its carbon dioxide. Organisms being revived in this way is one thing, but the purpose of the research is to study effects of the permafrost thawing out on its own due to rising global temperatures. As time goes on, there won't be any choice but to sit and let these organisms thaw out, a process that could pose problems on its own, including the release of more carbon into the atmosphere. While a scenario is similar to this has been seen in the X-Files episode Ice, which sees a worm-like creature infect humans after being thawed out from the permafrost, and is highly unlikely. The risk of some sort of harmful prehistoric pathogen emerging from the ice is definitely not zero. So why are we doing it prematurely?
Exactly.
Yikes.
Nothing good's going to come out of it, I'm telling you.
No, there never is.
Mm-mm.
Well, let's maybe talk about something else to get our mind off of that, shall we? Let's talk about the historic origins of witch iconography. Black hats and broomsticks were coming up on Halloween, and a lot of that Halloween origin goes back to what exactly witches look like and witch paraphernalia. Mary Ellis Dunning wrote an article about witches and that iconography. And she says whether they're knocking at your door trick-or-treating or hung as decorations in shop windows, witches are rife at this time of year. They're easy to recognize, wearing tall pointed hats and carrying broomsticks or peering into a cauldron. But where do these stereotypes associated with witches come from? Well, she talks about broomsticks. And much like brooms today, in the 1500s, the broomstick was a household tool used to sweep hearths and floors. In rural villages, broomsticks were often used as a form of signage by alewives who would place them outside their cottages to show that ale was for sale within. It's an interesting way of saying that.
Yeah.
For sale, here's a broom. Somehow this innocuous object found its way into the stories of witchcraft. The first image of women flying on broomsticks is believed to be in the manuscript of French poet Martin Lefranc's Le Champion de Dames, or Dames, de Dames.
Dame.
Le Champion de Dames, or The Defender of Ladies, which was published in 1485. Women sat astride broomsticks. They were drawn alongside the text in the margins of the pages, much as accused witches were often maligned women on the margins of society. One of the most influential pieces of writing on witchcraft was the Melu Maleficarum. That's official, by the way. Published in 1486 by German clergyman Heinrich Kramer. Kramer's anti-witchcraft tract alluded to witches flying on anointed broomsticks with the aid of the devil. Well, that sounds cheery. Given that the work is firmly rooted in misogyny and depicts witches as a direct threat to the domestic sphere, it is fitting that such mundane household items became an object of malice. Now we talk about the cauldron, another domestic item. The cauldron has become synonymous with witchcraft. Instead of stews and broths, witches are often shown using cauldrons to stir up potions and spells. Again, it's likely that this is rooted in ideas of women subverting their usual household duties, as well as a connection to healing practices. In the 16th and 17th centuries, people relied on lay healers. The L became an H for me all of a sudden. I wish I would have somebody to heal my hay fever. Lay healers and people who learned their craft through experience and knowledge passed down through the generations. These healers were usually women who had knowledge of herbal remedies and salves that would claim to cure ailments and heal people and sick animals. As the Reformation drew in and the church became more powerful, lay healing practices and unlicensed healing was pushed aside in favor of trained physicians. With this shift, lay healers boiling herbs in their cauldrons were looked on with increasing suspicion. So where did the tall black hats come from? Well, depictions of witches vary across Europe, but there's no doubt that that tall black hat has become associated with witches, especially in the UK and the US. There's no definitive source for the strange stereotype, but speculation about where this came from is rife, ranging from ideas about Quaker hats to general medieval dress. Women in early modern, anywhere from 1500 to 1780, Wales typically dressed in long, heavy woolen skirts, aprons, blouses, and a large woolen shawl, and a traditional tall black hat. So there's speculation among some researchers that this served as inspiration for the wide-brimmed hat of the fairy tale witch. This is fitting, given that Wales, along with Cornwall, was seen by Protestant reformers of the early modern period as a land rife with magic and sorcery. Outside of Europe, tall black hats have also been found on mummies from 200 BC unearthed in Sabishi, China, alongside leading scientists naming them with the witches of Sabishi, or Sabishi, one or the other. Long, scraggly hair on a witch. We'll find out where that came from. Depictions of witches usually involve women with long, scraggly hair, often trailing behind them as they ride on their broomsticks. It's likely that this conception of witches comes from the dichotomy between good Christian women and their bad witch counterparts that was established during the Reformation. In the post-medieval period, married women ordinarily covered their hair beneath a cap, and loose hair was generally regarded as an improper attitude of temptresses and the dissolute. Agnes Griffiths, a Welsh woman, was accused of witchcraft in 1618 and was reportedly seen through the window of her home using something sharp to prick a wax figure, and was described as doing this with her hair about her ears. Her hair, Heare. I think they meant hair, but her hair.
Oh, gotcha.
Right?
Yeah, it kind of sounds like it.
In her ears, Eares, ears. The accusation suggests disdain for women who refuse to conform to expectations of their gender. In an extension of this, witches were also suspected of hiding wax, which they would use for their sorcery, in their hair, contributing to the stereotype of witches as having greasy locks. Boy, women didn't get a good name back then, did they?
Yeah, they're a bunch of women haters.
Yeah. He-men, what was the saying from the Little Rascals? He-men, women hating club?
Is
that what it was?
Remember.
Yeah. Black cats, how do they figure into this? Well, women accused of witchcraft between the 14th and 17th centuries were often accused of keeping a familiar, which was an animal that was actually the devil or a demon in disguise. Familiar spirits were said to come in any number of guises, from frogs to rats and dogs to small horses and even badgers. How would you like to have a pet badger? That would be really, really bizarre.
Aren't they angry?
They are. They're always angry. Yeah. They're really unruly. It'd be really hard to have a pet badger. I would think that would be almost impossible. In a perverse parody of breastfeeding an infant, witches were believed to feed their familiars from their own bodies. Okay, how would you like to breastfeed a badger? That would be impossible.
Aren't we getting into bestiality now?
A little bit. And were often consequently stripped and searched for a witch's teat. Boy, people were really uncruelly and unfairly bad to women.
Someone was done wrong, and then they just created this crusade against women, like this hate towards us.
I'm telling you. The cleric Robert Holland's witchcraft treatise, which presents some colorful ideas about witchcraft, recounts a story about a witch who would always have a docile rat feeding in her lap. A rat? It goes on to claim that demons would appear in the form that was easiest to keep as a pet, such as cats, mice, and frogs, and tells of an old woman and her daughter who were known to have kept the devil for a long time in various animal guises. Supposedly, the older woman fed the animals with blood from her own breasts.
What?
Ah.
Oh, my God.
In one particularly famous case of witchcraft, that of Elizabeth Clark of Manningtree. Clark admitted to keeping several familiar spirits, and the most well-remembered was that of her cat, Vinegar Tom. That's a catchy name for a cat.
Mm-hmm. I kind of like it.
Vinegar Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Mary Ellis Dunning, PhD candidate, languages and literature, was responsible for the article. So thank you, Mary Ellis Dunning, for shitting on women everywhere. We appreciate that. What a bizarre, I mean, to be that horrible to women in that time. I mean, I suppose. Speaking of being horrible for women and horrible to women, it's time now for our palate cleanser today, Mallie. That was our last story of the day. Let's be horrible to them one more time. You ready?
Sure.
The headline is, my wife turns into a snake at night. A man claims this in a bizarre domestic dispute. A husband, of course, we're going to India for this.
Okay.
A husband from India's Uttar Pradesh has reportedly claimed that his wife has a rather odd nocturnal habit. Now, some guys, as they're laying there at night, you know, they might get a little poke in the ribs, or they might get a foot in the butt. Or maybe you even get slapped as you're
for snoring.
Well, or just an odd, you know, hit in the head.
Okay.
Know, maybe your lady flails while she sleeps.
Okay. Nice choice of words. Flails.
Maybe she howls in her sleep. Who knows?
Okay.
But this is a whole new odd nocturnal habit. Most domestic disputes concern infidelity, alcoholism, or financial troubles. But for one couple in India, the main complaint is that his wife keeps turning into a snake in the middle of the night.
Is he trying to divorce her and this is his excuse?
I think so.
Okay.
The utterly bizarre claim was reported by her husband, Mirage, who told officials about the issue during a day typically designed or designated to bring local problems to the district magistrate. This is a tradition in India where you can just bring problems to your local district magistrate.
Okay.
Can you imagine the mister just having an issue with you, Mallie, and going, you know what? We need to go in front of the district magistrate. I got an issue.
Be like, the hell we are. You think we have problems? Just wait. I haven't begun yet.
Mirage says to the magistrate, my wife, Nazimum, is mentally unstable and spends the nights pretending to be a Nagin, hissing and scaring me. I'd say get a grip.
What if she really is because she's trying to drive him nuts?
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fact that you can't sack up and just, you know, go to sleep, I think is pretty funny. He says, my wife tries to kill me every night. My wife was saved because I woke up at that time. My wife is mentally torturing me. She is more likely to kill me when I am asleep. She has bitten me once. Huh? As always, however, it is helpful to get both sides of the story, as according to his wife, he had been making up stories about her because he wants to marry someone else.
Ah, there we go.
Yep. He has constantly harassed me for dowry, she said. I am 4 months pregnant, but my husband does not pay any attention to my medical or food expenses.
Oh.
He's a deadbeat. According to reports, the couple, who only married a few months ago, had been getting on fine together until very recently, when the snake activity allegedly started up. The husband is now seeking out the services of a sorcerer in an effort to resolve the issue.
He's the dirty snake.
Right.
I knew there had to be a reason. It's another woman.
It's another woman. And it's only been a couple of months.
It's because she's pregnant. Probably doesn't find her attractive because he's an ass.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I tend to think that that's when a woman's the most beautiful is when she has her.
I agree, but you got those guys who are superficial. Lord forbid she gains like 2 pounds.
Oh, she's got your child and she's glowing, and it's that time where you can bond with baby and mom, and that tends to be one of the most tender times in life, right?
Right. But what if she's dealing with morning sickness and then you got some other chick going, "Well, if your wife's sick, I'll give you attention."
Oh, then go hold her hair, help her out.
Listen, not everybody is you, Timmy.
Uh,
Got some real assholes out there in this world.
I guess so, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Uh, Got to get through this life together, right, Mel?
Mm-hmm.
That's part of it. You enter into this world and enter into marriage. You got to get through it together.
Mm-hmm. But if he's not, giving her money for food and stuff, yeah, he's an ass.
Hmm.
For the dowry and stuff,
Yeah,
yeah.
unbelievable.
Asshole.
Asshole. So that's our palate cleanser for today.
Okay.
Just be careful what you ask for, buddy, because sometimes
Mhm.
grass isn't always greener. You may have a snake at home, but you may be looking at a mongoose,
Mhm.
right?
Or my foot up his ass. Yep.
Well, that's true. That's pretty funny. I'm looking at my foot up your ass. That kind of sounds like something my old man would say. Looking at my foot up your ass. It's kind of like, well, he used to say one other thing too. Say, eat it or I'll shove it up your ass. That was the other thing he'd say.
Growing up in the 80s.
Yeah, right?
Yep.
You can never say that to a kid these days.
No.
No, they're too sensitive.
Yeah. Bunch
Yeah,
of wimps.
bunch of wimps. Although it'd be pretty funny if you did try to say it to a kid these days.
My kids would be like, "What do you mean?"
How are you going to do that? I want to see it.
Yeah. I'd be like, "I don't have energy to explain it. Never mind."
If I got to do it, it's too much.
Yeah.
Too much energy. I don't think I can do that. Although we could try it. Never know. Could be fun.
Mhm.
That's for sure.
Mhm.
All right. Um, let's see here. Tomorrow on the big program, I should ask you what you have going on in your world first.
Well, I have recovered from the cemetery walk. Yay.
Yay.
So I know it was a huge success. And so now I'm going to start getting into the Halloween uh spirit and start watching my movies, my scary movies. And every year we go to, there's this place called Terror on Tilson Street.
Oh, yeah.
If you're in Michigan, there's this town called Romeo. It's right outside of Detroit. And it's like this Victorian town kind of built in like the 1800s. And every year they have all these houses. It's like 2 streets worth really go out with decorating their homes. Like it's these elaborate displays. I mean, it's like Walt Disney World, the way that they decorate their homes. I mean, it is incredible. They should be on a show. But anyway, so we usually like go to the local Dairy Queen, get our hot chocolate, and we walk these streets, and it's packed.
Really?
So it's like it takes a couple hours to go up and down. So we usually try and do that.
Wow.
So yeah, it's amazing because like everyone gets involved.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. So we'll probably try and get that in, squeeze that in. So yeah,
That sounds really cool.
yeah, it's very neat. So what are you gonna do?
Well, I'm going to do a show tomorrow. That's what I'm going to do.
What's your show on?
Actually, it's pretty interesting. Um,
Okay, do tell.
Tomorrow on the big program, we have Tiago Luiz Tichetti.
Okay.
He is one of the utmost authorities in Brazil on UFO attacks.
Attacks?
Attacks.
Okay.
He's got a book out called UFO Attacks in Brazil, the true story of the most terrifying events in the history of ufology.
Okay.
So we're not talking, we're not talking little sightings.
Mm-hmm.
Nice little, oh, I saw some lights in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, Mallie. We're talking big time. We're talking some good stories tomorrow. That's for sure.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, to give you an idea, I'll give you just a little idea here.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the quiet island of Colares, Brazil, which became the epicenter of one of the most remarkable UFO investigations in history. It was known as Operation Saucer. A secret mission conducted by the Brazilian Air Force documented mysterious lights, unexplained burns, close encounters that left an entire community in fear.
Hmm.
That's right. It's widely regarded as one of the most thoroughly documented UFO cases of all time. The Colares incident stands as essential reading for UFO investigators, researchers, and anyone fascinated by the unexplained. But Mr. Tecchetti is the president of the Brazilian Commission of Ufologists. In 2017, he was appointed as the assistant to the international director of MUFON in Brazil.
Oh, okay.
So he'll be our guest tomorrow.
Cool.
Yeah. And we will sit and talk to him about this unusual case in Colares, Brazil.
Okay.
It's going to be an interesting program. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. We talk a lot about UFO cases here in the States. We talk a lot about UFO cases in England. Rendlesham's a big one. We talk about these cases worldwide. But if you remember, Boogosphere was in Colombia. We don't talk a lot about cases south of the border.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm curious to talk about Colares in Brazil on tomorrow's program. So, should be good.
Cool. Yeah, sounds like it.
Otherwise, I'm up in St. Cloud this weekend, up at Canada.
All right.
Yeah. So Saturday morning, if you're rising and shining early, you can, between 6 and 9 Central Time, you can tune in at knsiradio.com.
Awesome.
You can wake up with me there on Saturday morning. Before we go today, let me remind you that if you've got your passport ready and you're ready to take off for Halloween and explore someone else's culture besides your own and party down on Halloween, you can do so with Dacre Stoker in Romania. You can party at Brand Castle, which is Dracula's castle. That's one of the places you can go. The other would be the Puka Festival for Halloween with Brian J. Cano. How can you do it? Well, you can do both tours, one or the other, with Mysterious Adventures Tours. And you can get the link by going to darknessradioshow.com and go to the events page. If you can't remember all that, just look at the description or the link in the description of this program and click on that link for yourself and check out either or. You can do it by payment plan. You can pay long after you've traveled and enjoy either or of those trips. It's going to be a wonderful time. So by all means, take advantage, live life while you can, because 3-Eye Atlas is coming, Mallie.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, our alien overlords are going to take over and you won't be able to enjoy any of that stuff anymore. So at least according to Travis. So
right.
might as well do it now while you can. Other than that, the iOS 26 is coming out for the new Apple devices. Just bear with us as we make changes in our app. And other than that, if you are listening to this program and not watching this program, we encourage you to go to YouTube and like and subscribe at the original Darkness Radio, which is the YouTube channel. Again, we encourage you to watch the video as well as listen to the program. But please like and subscribe at the original Darkness Radio on YouTube. If you're not quite sure where to find us, again, darknessradioshow.com is where you can get both the audio and video. And then just like and subscribe to the video when you're done watching the video. So please join us there. That'll do it for today. Mallie, thank you so much for joining me today.
My pleasure, always.
And again, join us tomorrow for UFO attacks in Brazil, the true story of the most terrifying events in the history of ufology with Tiago Luiz Tichetti. It's coming up tomorrow, right here on the best in paranormal podcasting. You've been watching and listening to the best in paranormal podcasting right here on Darkness Radio.
For more audio and video archives of the show, intriguing content, fun events, and cool swag, check out darknessradioshow.com. The executive producer of Darkness Radio is Troy Palmer. If you enjoyed today's program, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. And be sure to join us tomorrow for the Spirits of Merry Old England with David J. Clark.